How did you get over suicidal thoughts? Serious? I haven't, and likely never will. I was diagnosed as having suicidal ideation without intent, in addition to dysthymia and being bipolar. So, for me, I guess the silver lining is that I don't intend to act on these thoughts. But they are constantly there, in my high highs and my lowest of lows. I have lost people in my life to suicide and been a shoulder for other loved ones struggling with these thoughts who have come out the other side. Everyone's path through this is different and no way off coping is wrong. Serenil. I have never truly gotten rid of suicidal thoughts. I think they will always linger in my mind. I haven't killed myself because I have seen the aftermath of people who have killed themselves. I think that's the only reason I haven't killed myself, to be honest. When I am having average days or really bad days /weeks /months /years, suicide is on my mind a lot. All my energy has to go into trying to find things to distract myself. The key word is distract and not improve my mood, cause when I am in a depressive relapse I can't stop thinking about suicide and how stupid and useless I am. I think friends and family definitely help ease the thoughts and having activities to distress after a bad day. I just do things. Play games, study, enjoy TV shows, podcasts, joined a sports rec league, got a 3Ds, played some really good games. Just doing fun things really makes life better. It's when there's nothing to do that life feels pointless. My life feels so worthless, but I can't kill myself because of my family. I've been taking fluoxetine for about a year. For the first time in my life I feel mentally whole. I can function, laugh, play with my kids, where I actually enjoy it. It's so wonderful because when depression held me back from enjoying life, I knew something was wrong. My relationships with people, especially with my wife and kids, have improved so much. There are some small side effects, but very worth the improved quality of life. I had struggled with depression all my life. As I got older, the darker it became, to the point where to me suicide was no longer a daydream but a viable option. This really bothered me as I had so much, mainly a beautiful family, to be happy about. I knew I had to do something for my family and myself. At 35, seeing a doctor was one of the best decisions, finally, I ever made. My best friend in high school committed suicide. I couldn't stand the thought of putting anyone else through the same pain I was feeling then. I'd had suicidal thoughts on and off for years, but that experience made them stop pretty quickly. Fix the issues that is causing the thoughts. For me, the thought of the unknown was just too scary for me to ever really commit to anything. I honestly don't know how people do it. I guess the idea that it has to be better than this, but I just don't know. Also, my situation generally got better, still struggling with debt but doing a lot better. The guilt my family and friends would feel. Never have gotten over them. I just resist them for my wife and kids' sake, but they never stop coming. As a teenager I held a knife against my wrist. I couldn't go through with it. I decided it was then or never. So far so good. I've had an awesome, not perfect, life and I've some amazing kids and friends. Therapy, appropriate medication, supportive friends, and positive lifestyle changes, for example reducing stress, getting a job, etc. I think about what a disappointment I'd be to my parents and friends, which would be more of a disappointment than I am now. Plus I'm too scared to actually go through with any attempts, so I just end up berating myself on my cowardice instead. I just thought about the people in my life who would be devastated by my loss. Then I realized I'm really lucky to have people like that at all, and if that's the case, then I guess my life wasn't worth ending. It occurred to me that suicide would be an ultimate act of selfishness, and I couldn't in good conscience become the kind of person who'd hurt so many people like that. That's the thing about it. You never get over suicidal thoughts. It is always lingering in your head, just waiting until the opportunity presents itself. I've been depressed for about 6 years now. It has probably ruined the way I look on life now. I think that life is precious and that we as individuals have a purpose in our lives to serve. But when I see the things that we all do, the celebrities we praise, and the technology that we worship, I just think, why am I exactly on Earth? What is my purpose? I then take my mind off of that by playing 3 to 5 hours of video games. I mean, these video game developers didn't create video games for no reason, right? Lol. Looking forward to the future and seeing how climate change destroys the world or Trump gets us into a nuclear war. We're all going to die, might as well die in some interesting way like the above. I never really do. They've been there for about 5 years now and I've gone to a place to do it. I've always been too chicken to act on anything. My family mocks me because they don't think I'll follow through with it, and truthfully I don't want to, but the last couple of years have just been super rough, so anytime something happens it just triggers it again and I start having those silly thoughts all over again. I'm here if you need to talk up. I haven't. I've just accepted them as part of life. It's really easy to be happy about good things happening when you know just how low you can really go. Getting over them only with therapy, meds, and things in my life changing and improving. But while I had them, I tried to make them bearable/useful by treating it like a backup plan, in the sense that it actually kept myself from going through with it because I told myself I can still do it when it gets worse. No need to do it now, and daring myself to stay to see how worse it gets out of curiosity. It worked because technically, no one can take death away from you, so you can postpone it how you like. It helped me get through difficult times, because I kept being alive and it felt like I always had a way out. Now I'm in a place in life where I don't need that backup plan anymore. Sometimes you can't escape the suicidal thoughts, but I figured I'd at least take advantage of them. I started seeing a therapist and got a prescription for citalopram. For me, the moment I realized that suicide seemed like the most rational solution to my problems scared me awake. I told my boss, spoke to my doctor and took some steps to get help. It was basically because of an abusive home situation that I couldn't just walk away from. Had a daughter, but I realized I wanted to do as much as I could to keep her safe, and I couldn't if I was dead. Had my first suicidal thoughts in over a year on Monday, broke down for an hour in front of very important friends. My best friend called me from home to ask if I was okay, then texted first thing in the morning too. I think exam stress added on top of me just feeling useless. Lurker here, there's so many reasons people are suicidal. Mine is a combination of weird parenting and events that lead to me being a heavy alcohol user in the past. Even at 12 I had issues dealing with myself. I had anorexia from 7th to 8th grade. Then later I picked up drinking, around 18, and drank every day for about a year, then I stopped for a bit, then I started again. I'm very lucky I have it under control now, but I was in a very dark spot with relationship problems. And even at this point had an eating disorder because of depression and constant picking at the corner of my lips in anxiety and the compulsion to pull of scabs. I ended up getting an STD that was luckily curable but made me feel terrible, worthless. I broke down. It makes me so sad to remember these feelings about myself. I'm so happy I didn't kill myself now. But these were ideas that lead to relief in my head. I found myself wanting to waste away. My fingertips were peeling, from stress and alcohol use probably. My ribs were pronounced and I was confident enough to get a boyfriend. I got lucky for once. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. He's made me be ways I have always been wanting to be. Be the best I can be. He gave me hope to keep moving forward, though he had some troubles of his own. Bad situations I've put myself in. I'm lucky I didn't. I still have them at least once a day. I just learned to deal with them as an extension of my grief, as something that I have had ever since and will likely always have. In much the same way that I will never not be mourning my loss, there will always be that not insignificant part of me that will not want to go on without them. Every new day is a small battle won. Who said I got over them? A therapist. Medication. I'm 5 weeks in on a 20 mg/day dosage of fluoxetine, Prozac. Other than being unable to orgasm easily during sex, A fairly minor sacrifice. I've seen nothing but positives since my first few days on it. It wasn't dramatic, but as the days went by, I stopped feeling like I was on the precipice of doing the deed. Then I stopped wanting to. Then I slowly started to feel better, and better. It was like a metamorphosis. I'd always avoided treatment with antidepressants, especially SSRIs, due to various stigmas and a concern that it may cause permanent structural changes to my nervous system. All I can say is if you're unsure, do it. I feel better than I've felt in years,